Hi, welcome to the last of these little series of videos about commitment and relationships. Today, we're going to talk a bit about love and how that relates to relationship and commitment. So, it's really important with this conversation that we distinguish between romantic love and true love. So, romantic love being what we see on the movie screen, what we see in the magazines and newspapers, what we see on social media. So that kind of depiction of romantic love, which suggests that it's about wining and dining and sweeping people off their feet and big romantic gestures, and there's nothing wrong with any of those things. But when we think that's the only version of love available and that that's how our lives should be looking all the time, we're going to get really disappointed with how our lives look all the time, or most of the time. Because for the vast majority of relationships, you're not going to be in that sweeping you off your feet kind of experience. It's not the princess being saved by the prince. It's not it's not the perfect idealistic, oh, look at us, we're so in love every single day. It's just not how it is. And which is why, of course, so many relationships will falter after the first few months, because that initial in love phase falls away. Or more accurately, the idea of who I think I am comes back in and veils that feeling of love and connection. And I think it's them that's the problem, so I stop dating them or stop hanging out with them. In fact, what's happened is just you've come back into the belief of being a separate person with all the judgments and issues that come along with that. And now it looks like it's them that's the problem. I'm not in love with you anymore. So that gorgeous early stage of a relationship, of course, is beautiful. And for the vast majority of people, that's the dating and the wining and dining that happens in that early stage isn't then the ongoing long-term experience. So that experience of romantic love is beautiful and gorgeous, and it's there and it's available, but it's just not the long-term experience that we have. And in fact, what we're really looking for in that long-term experience is true love. Now, again, that phrase true love, you might have gone straight to Disney movies. Oh, it's true love's kiss. I love Disney movies, by the way. But again, that's depicted in that romantic environment. If we were to talk about true love, excuse me, true love as the permanent, true love as the unchanging, as the reliable, that true love is really the love of our nature, that which does not come and go based on whether we've been together 3 months or more or not. The true love is a much more foundational, lasting, solid, even though it's not made of solid form, it's solid, it's grounded, it's real. We think of this material world as the real, but no, that which we are before all of these ideas is the real and solid, true love that we're looking for. And it's that from which commitment comes. It's that from which all of everything comes. So if you were to look at your relationship and say, well, I'm not really sure that I love this person because I don't seem to be committed to them. There's perhaps first of all a question of all of what's gone before around commitment, but also, well, what am I meaning by love? What do I think love is? What do I have in my mind? What are my ideas about love? What am I measuring this current experience against and then saying it's wrong? Because one of the things the questioner realized, and that you might be recognizing already from this conversation, is that the minute we take our experience and say, oh, but it should be like that and this isn't okay, guess what? We don't feel happy. So if what we're doing all the time is saying, well, this is my experience right now of my relationship, And I'm comparing it to all these romantic ones that I see in the movies and in the media, but even with my friends on Facebook. And I'm saying, oh, wow, look at all that lovely stuff that's happening. Oh, mine's not like that. Maybe we're not really in love. Maybe we're not really committed to each other because look at how they're all doing it. And we feel bad. So the more that you're able to be with your experience of your relationship as it is right now, the more chance you've got, A, of feeling that underlying true love of your nature, because you've dropped out of all these ideas back into just things as they are. But you're also closer in to this space of who you really are, which is, this is from which any thoughts, ideas, possibilities, differences, changes is going to come. The changes don't come from comparing myself to somebody else and feeling bad about it. The changes come from recognizing this is how my relationship is right now. Being with that exactly as it is, seeing the little signs of love and commitment that show up, even if it's not the movie star version. It's the they took the bins out for me this morning when it was really wet. It was they thought of me with whether I wanted something picking up from the shops on the way home. It's like I said the other day, it's them, it's me unstacking the dishwasher for them because I know they don't like unstacking the dishwasher. These little moments are when we're grounded in that true love essence of who we are, these little moments are amazing expressions of love, amazing expressions of commitment. So if we work from the basis that true love is our nature, the more we know that, the more we're grounded in that as that, the more all of our actions and behaviors are aligned with that, which could look incredibly ordinary and incredibly boring and incredibly, normal life, yawn, yawn, but no, we only say yawn, yawn to it because we're trying to get to some unrealistic, romantic version of loving relationship. When we're in the recognition of ourself and we see these lovely, ordinary experiences, we see them as they are love. All of this is expressions of love, but we can shift and recognize, oh yeah, even the unstacking of the dishwasher is an act of commitment and love. And then your world can change. Your world will just inevitably change because you're no longer in that realm of imagination and judgment and criticism. You're with it as it is and you're seeing it truly as it is for what it is. And when we can see that and appreciation arises for that in that moment, that's what enhances the experience. That's what brings the just quiet delight with unstacking a dishwasher. Because then we're not seeking some magical, fancy, impressive gold star version of relationship. We're grounded in the love that we are, the unconditional 100%. I love it exactly as it is. And I see the relationship as it is. And I see that this is the relationship I'm in, and therefore this must be the relationship I'm committed to some degree. And I can see the feelings around that, and I can see the behaviors and actions that are expressions of that. And if at some point, going back to the last video and a little bit of the one before, if at some point I say, do you know what? I'm not sure this is as much commitment as I want. Let me just check, what kind of number of commitment do I think I am? That is totally available to bring that inquiry and to check in and go, well, do I want more? Well, yeah. Okay, so what would that look like? And that is all still totally available because it's always been who you are that's had that question of, is this what I want? And what do I really want? And the creation of possibilities of how to bring that into reality. That's always come from who you really are. That's never come from never really come from the separate self. It's filtered via a separate self, which clogs it up with its ideas of shoulds and has tos and all the yuck. So the more we're dropped out of the idea of being a separate self, the more we know who we really are, the more this expression of true love can just show up in the world, and changes can happen, and different experiences can be felt, and all of it loved, all of it loved. So I'll leave this one here for today, and I look forward to hearing what you've what's occurred to you through watching, through listening. And thank you for joining me for this little mini series of questions and responses, and look forward to seeing you soon. Much love.